There is a dragon beneath Yggdrasil. He's been eating the roots of existence for longer than the gods have been alive, and they pretend not to hear him. His name is Nidhogg, the Malice Striker. His teeth are buried so deep in the root that the tree itself groans when he moves. When Ragnarok comes, that grinding will stop. He will rise from the dark with wings no one knew he had. Corpses tangled in his scales. The damned dragged up from the pit to watch the world burn. The gods will fall. The sky will crack open. And when it's over, when the world rises green and new from the ashes, a shadow will pass over the survivors. Still hungry, still patient. That ending waits. For now, his teeth find the bark. No one alive has seen him clearly. The stories say his body stretches longer than rivers, black scales drinking whatever light strays too close. His eyes are older than the sun, and when they open in the dark, they glow like embers buried in ash. He coils around the deepest root, where the cold stops feeling like anything at all. No light reaches that far. The air tastes like iron and rot, slow, patient, the way water wears down stone. The tree heals itself. He tears through the new growth. The roots thicken and his jaw finds them. He has outlasted every attempt the world has made to outgrow him. No one knows where he came from. Some say he was there before the tree grew, waiting in the void for something to sink roots into his domain. Others say he crawled up from somewhere deeper, something even the first gods refused to name. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he never stops, never rests, never loses his patience. The realms above feel it, even when they pretend not to. In Midgard, the ground shivers for no reason. Cracks appear in stone that has stood for generations. Wells go dry overnight, and the water comes back tasting of copper. Old women say the earth is sick. The young ones laugh at them. But the laughter sounds hollow, and no one sleeps well on those nights. In Asgard, fruit falls from branches before it ripens. Mead sours in the barrel. Odin's ravens return from their flights with nothing to report, but they won't meet his eye. He sits on his throne and stares at the floor, and sometimes his hand moves to his spear before he realizes it. They all know. The tree that holds their world together is being eaten from below, one bite at a time, and there is nothing they can do about it. So they drink and they feast, and they tell stories about glories that happened long ago. And when the ground trembles beneath their feet, they raise their voices louder and pretend they didn't feel it. But the gnawing isn't the worst of it. The feeding is. Deeper than the dragon, a shore stretches into black. Nastrond, the corpse shore. The walls are woven from living serpents, their scales grinding together, venom dripping from their fangs in a curtain that pools ankle-deep on the floor. The doors face north, and the wind never stops pouring through them, carrying the sound of voices begging for mercy that won't come. This is where oath-breakers end up. Murderers who killed guests under their own roofs. Men who swore on their children's lives and lied anyway. They wade through the venom and wait for Nidhogg to descend. There was a king once. He invited his brother to feast and buried a knife in his throat before the meat went cold. When he died, fat and old in a warm bed, he thought he'd gotten away with it. Then he opened his eyes on the corpse shore, venom rising past his ankles, and understood that death was just the beginning of his punishment. When Nidhogg grows hungry, he feeds on them. His jaws close around a body, and it comes apart like wet cloth. Then it reforms, because nothing stays dead in the lands of the dead. And he tears it apart again. An eternity of being unmade. Time stopped meaning anything down there long ago. Something else lives in the world tree. A messenger that runs between the eagle nesting at the crown and the dragon gnawing at the roots. It starts with the eagle. A mutter, half to himself. The worm below thinks himself mighty, biting in the dark like a rat. The messenger's ears perk up. He scurries down through the bark, through frozen tunnels, and finds Nidhogg in the black. The eagle calls you worm, he whispers, says you bite like vermin. The dragon's eyes open. His voice scrapes like stone on stone. Tell the bird I'll pick his bones clean when the tree falls. The messenger races back up, and by the time he reaches the top, the threat has grown worse in the telling, back and forth. The same insults carried up and down, twisted a little sharper each time. The eagle tears at the branches when its fury peaks. Nidhogg bites deeper when the insults land. Two ancient things destroying the tree that holds everything together, and neither of them started the hatred between them. The messenger's name is Ratatoskr, a squirrel, bright-eyed and quick, running up and down the spine of existence, poisoning both ends against each other because he can. Some creatures just want to watch things fall apart, and he's been at it longer than any war the gods remember. So when the end finally comes, when the sun goes dark, and the sea rises to swallow the land, Nidhogg unfolds those wings. He rises from the roots with corpses tangled in his scales, oath-breakers from Nastrond dragged into the final battle. He joins the chaos above and watches the old world burn. Gods fall. Fire sweeps across everything. The world sinks into black water, then it rises again. Green pushes through the ash. A new sun climbs the sky. The gods who survived gather to rebuild what was lost. A shadow passes over them. The dragon, flying over the fresh world with corpses still caught in his wings. The old poems mention it, but never explain why he survived, or what his survival means. The world ended. The world began again. And there he was, still flying, still hungry. You can kill the gods, burn the tree, drown the realms in fire and salt water. Some things don't end. Some hungers outlast the worlds they feed on. Listen close tonight, beneath the wind and the silence, beneath everything you think is solid ground, something stirs. Give it time. The roots will grow deep, and the dark will find them.